Hello, everyone. While we understand that you all may have low self-esteem and feel you'll never find a partner or have other self-doubts, this forum is not the place for that kind of negativity. Posting such content is clearly attention-seeking behavior, and we are not here to encourage it. Therefore, we have decided to start issuing temporary bans for anyone trying to turn this forum into a pity party. This applies to both posts and comments. For example, comments in response to the post, "What does your ideal significant other look like? She exists. My hand." Literally anybody. Everyone has their own insecurities, and joking about them is fine. However, if your only contribution to a post is non-answers designed to make people feel bad because of your own shortcomings, then you are not contributing to the conversation. Instead, you are pushing your own agenda for seeking validation, which is against the rules. First offense, 3-day ban. Second offense, 7-day ban. Third offense, permanent ban. For those wondering why we couldn't just implement this policy quietly, it's because we want you all to notice and be aware of these changes. Bans for self-pitying, attention-seeking comments. The moderators. Story 1. The new kings of this subreddit are people with significant others that won't answer dating questions hypothetically. Of course, I wouldn't talk to a girl in a bar because I have a girlfriend. The golden age is upon us. Story 2. Jesus, why do you even care about this? This is mostly people just saying these things as jokes. Yeah, it's extremely trite. Who cares though? We still have the dinosaur dude as a moderator who is constantly cringy. I would prefer to never have people permanently banned from here unless they are blatantly trolling. Also, stop with this nonsense in every pinned post. Are the moderators of Ask Men all 13 years old? Story 3. Starts the post by calling everyone shitlords, and then ends it with "go fuck yourselves." Must be a gem of a person. I guess the too long. Didn't read. Don't be an asshole. General rule doesn't apply when it's about people the moderators have a distaste for. Story 4. Is this actually from the moderation team, or just something user Rampaging Cola is instituting unilaterally and banking on other moderators to not care enough to fight him on? I ask because he's literally the only moderator I've seen comment here, and I went a pretty good way down. Story 5. Are you concerned this is going to skew the authenticity of the answers? Like the men who have low self-esteem and whatnot, which is a vast majority of us, can't really properly answer the questions now. Story 6. I'm not sure what to think of that. On one hand, weeding out low-hanging fruit, unoriginal and repetitive jokes is welcome. On the other, that's kind of enforcing a boys don't cry mindset. Pretty much men, you can show emotions within a narrow acceptable range. It depends on how it's enforced. If only one-liner, easy, self-pitying jokes are removed, no one should weep over it. If genuine emotional posts are removed for being attention-seeking or self-pitying, this place will just be one more example of applying this facet of toxic masculinity while actively rooting out other forms of sexism. After thinking about it and given the tone of the post, I'm not optimistic about which way it's going to go. Story 7. But did you consider the possibility that some men may actually need attention for self-pity and other issues? If this isn't a support group for men, what is it? Obvious bait or nonsense should certainly be called out, but I think it's downplaying the importance of this group to outright deny the option to build up men with severe self-confidence issues. Story 8. It does get old, but this is going to be challenging for many of the guys on this subreddit since they tend to be younger, single, not willingly, and insecure. They may see making fun of their situations as a kind of outlet. I also don't see what the big deal is since these comments are usually downvoted and at the bottom anyway. Plus, some self-deprecation can be funny, and now you'll have to judge what counts as attention-seeking versus a joke. But whatever, could make the responses more helpful and constructive, I guess. Your subreddit, your rules. Just please don't start veering into the Ask Women territory, or I'm going to use my hand and create an imaginary moderator to override your rules. Story 9. I do not see how this is a good idea. Is not this what upvotes and downvotes are for? Plus, it is like you are shutting out precisely the people who already have it the worst. Kicking those who are already down, so to speak. Turning the subreddit into an echo chamber for the successful seems really counterproductive. Story 10. This seems to be more of a, oh my god, I don't like this stuff so I don't want it here, than actual reasons for why it shouldn't be there. It looks like a moderator threw a temper tantrum rather than being an actual adult. Story 11. I'd argue there are a lot of insecurities you have for banning people for comments you don't like, however bad they may be. It's not like we're running out of Reddit or the internet. Let people comment however they want, and let the upvote and downvote buttons do their job. Story 12. Hey moderators, are you okay? It actually sounds like you guys are under a lot of stress and anxiety from all the cussing, caps lock, and negativity at the end. Story 13. Since you all hate anybody can be my girlfriend jokes, I'm going to reply with your mom every time I feel the need to be sarcastic. I also urge my fellow pranksters to do the same. Story 14. Use an implemented feature of the website. It's called the upvote and downvote system. This sounds more like a temper tantrum from the moderation team, but whatever. Story 15. For everyone's sake, can't we just be ourselves? All this comment policing is getting ridiculous. Racist and sexist comments, sure, but self-deprecating jokes and mild whining? This is nonsense. You are moderators, not owners. Story 16. Men are not allowed to seek pity or validation like every 17-year-old girl on the internet. I'm sure that will help with the rampant gentleman's mental health crisis. Equality. Story 17. Well, thanks, Thought Police. As a happy person, I will unsubscribe from you and your absurd rules. Thank God someone is finally telling men they shouldn't express how they feel. Revolutionary. Story 18. Jesus, if there isn't a whiny post from this moderation team every month about user-generated content. Not all of you, but some of you, and this post is a sterling example. This time, self-deprecation is off the menu, for reasons. Even I find that annoying. Sure, but I have a solution. I'll get to that in a minute. Look, I get it, having fun here is part of what makes the board great. But a few of you guys seriously need to relax over what people do or do not post instead of making a new. We are not going to take it sticky when one of you gets upset and the user in question didn't explicitly break a rule. If you do not like a post because you feel it does not contribute to the discussion for whatever reason, that's what the downvote button is for. Build a bridge and get over it. Or better yet, ban me because you didn't like this comment. That is the more likely future, considering the direction this subreddit has been going for a while now. I'm typically not one to sass a mod, but goddamn. Story 19. I came across this on the front page, and this post is super insensitive. I've never gotten the vibe that this subreddit would help somebody deal with loneliness, and I guess this confirms it. Story 20. You guys sound mad. Seriously, just downvote it and move on if it's bothering you so much. Or maybe, just maybe, you could leave an edifying comment for a person who is clearly struggling and in a dark place instead of haughtily condescending to them so you can feel cool for a minute on the internet. Story 21. This is censorship. This is Ask Men, not Ask Men who won't make an insecure quip. Some guys will give deep, thought-out answers. Others will just say boobs. Such is the nature of variability in our reality. There are filters and upvotes that ensure you don't have to let those oh-so-insecure comments affect your delicate sensibilities. Story 22. Kind of a dumb rule, to be honest, stupid questions get stupid answers. Plus, it's just self-deprecating jokes. That's how some of us roll. It doesn't mean we're looking for attention, at least not any more than whoever is commenting in a public place is. We all are looking for attention. Story 23. Well, that backfired, didn't it, moderators? Look at all the backlash and users calling moderators power-tripping individuals, rightfully so. Moderators are damaging this site faster than any I've seen before. Reddit has 1 year left at most before something replaces it. Guaranteed. Now ban me for speaking out. Story 24. Well, Ask Men is about to get pretty boring and desolated. I come here for the rawness and a good laugh. People don't have a lot of platforms where they can really express themselves without filters and censorship. I found this place to be a safe place for people to be raw. What's wrong with attention seeking? We are social beings constantly looking for connection, whether or not it's being done consciously. What's wrong with being able to laugh at your own misery? It's relatable and it's better than the heaviness of a situation. And it's funny. You can feel for yourself the fake, attention-seeking people. To simply ignore or downvote is enough. Story 25. To be honest, I personally am less inclined to read or participate in a subreddit that has a moderating team that speaks to people in this way. Jesus. I've read a lot of good discussions from Ask Men posts that make it to all. But the fact that you have such a ridiculous and demeaning tone for internal discussion makes me not want to be a regular part of this particular club. I suppose it takes all kinds. Story 26. Ban-happy moderators are at it again. Just let people write what they want. You're not supposed to dictate what answers people give. You just keep this place clean. Story 27. Great. Now how am I supposed to gain attention for my love of masturbation? Hand-to-gland combat is one of the few things I'm good at, and you guys have taken it away. I don't know if your defiance has influenced me, but at least I can take solace in sharing my jokes in other, less active communities. I can't wait for the instant gratification that will come by delivering bad jokes into them. Story 28. Well, someone's sure salty. Too many unpleasant jokes got you feeling down? Understandable, maybe being a moderator isn't for you. Love you too. Story 29. If only there was some sort of system built into the user interface of the website where people could add or subtract 1 point from the post, and if everyone hates it, it just gets hidden or something. Story 30. Oh my god. Reddit Ask Men is suddenly serious business. Seriously, this is the internet. If anyone seeks serious discussion, they probably consult a therapist, not Reddit. Story 31. What if an important person in your life died, and you were asking men for their advice? It's not a joke. That's why I'm here, but my post was removed. After reading further, it sounds like this isn't the place. Story 32. Seems like a lot of self-righteous teenagers in this subreddit instead of men. I'm gladly unsubscribing from here because the moderators and vocal minority clearly run the place. Forget Ask Men. Story 33. Anyone who complains about a Reddit user going for the low-hanging fruit in particular threads is ignorant and clearly hasn't been on the rest of Reddit. Reddit is pretty much just a collection of people going for the obvious easy jokes. On any given day, I can see the same tired Archer jokes or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia jokes multiple times. Pretty much the only thing Reddit is good at is going for the easy jokes and bad puns. This rule is an obvious power trip. Story 34. Why is it that whenever moderators make a post, they make sure you dislike them even more than you did before, if not at all? Is this a global mentality? I'd like to think they are just misguided, like someone who harms themselves to avoid being harmed in a conflict. Why not just add a serious note for serious posts? Part of being an adult is having a sense of humor. We turn terrible events into humor. How do we get past all our issues? You guessed it, humor. Story 35. The fact that a large number of men out there are horribly lonely and depressed is not a self-pitying fantasy. It's their reality, and characterizing it as a delusion is pretty disingenuous. If you're going to ban that kind of discussion, just be honest about it and say it's because you'd rather pretend it didn't exist. Story 36. Damn. The moderators here are 12-year-olds whose own lives are a mess and can't see people trying to get a little comfort with some nice comedy that does not hurt anyone and was clearly well liked. The comments you posted were top comments on that post by your members. If someone asked for pity and is insecure, that's just the way this person is right now in his life, and that is to a certain degree part of his personality. Taking it to extreme measures as to what he hopes to accomplish with such posts or comments is his own thing, and in reality, as long as his post or comment is not offensive to anyone, this is blatantly the dumbest thing I've ever seen on a subreddit. It's a shame. I really loved this subreddit. Story 37. I have 6 kids, and I don't like it. They eat too much and treat me poorly. They only wear high-end label clothes. If you give them a hand, they take advantage. All my friends have big cars, large houses too, and smoke expensive cigars. They have plenty of money. I don't know why. I look in my wallet and start to cry. I dislike my life, and I dislike you. I dislike my wife and her boyfriend too. Story 38. Going to be a no for me in how it's being enacted, although I can see I'm clearly outvoted. Girls don't understand how low the standards are for guys. A girlfriend that exists would make my day. Story 39. Really don't think banning these comments is normal. Maybe just find a way to consistently discourage by deleting and letting the person know? I don't know. This feels really aggressive and like you're inflicting your own standard of funny on other people. I get you're the moderators, but banning feels like a lot. Story 40. The moderators on Ask Men are like, no expressing your feelings. You all are some cliche people. I don't think I've ever seen a good thread here make it to the front page of everything anyway. Weirdos. Story 41. But all my answers are honest answers. May as well just ban me now and forever if I can't give honest answers. I have no idea how you could differentiate between my honest answers and other people just joking, and I doubt you can have an exception to the rule because then that upsets everyone who doesn't get special treatment. It just kind of sucks for me. Also, I don't check replies, so it's not like I'm doing it for attention or validation. I'm just legitimately giving my answer, even if it's incredibly unhelpful or whatever. I expect that even if the moderators are nice enough to not actually preemptively ban me forever based on this comment, it won't be long before I am. Story 42. I don't know how I feel about this. Now, I am not the most active user on this subreddit. Maybe that's why, but I never really thought of these jokes as a detriment to actual discussion. The top comments aren't littered with these jokes. Responses may have some, but that's about as far as it gets. Then again, this is my experience and I don't read all comments religiously. I generally only read the top comments and some of their replies, though I can see why the moderators would go for punishment on these comments even when I, a very casual user, don't see them as a problem. Alright, these were my fairly rambling thoughts on this. Have a good one. Story 43. Also known as self-deprecation, and yes, it's very annoying on Reddit and happens in every subreddit. Thank you, moderators, for taking a stand on this crappy trend. Story 44. So much for free speech when you have a bunch of whiny liberals telling you what you can post based on their own personal beliefs. Controlling behavior, can we discuss that?